Why should you story tell your pitch? See, all along, we people have been, been told that you should have a lot of statistics, a lot of data, a lot of so many things which should be there in this when you tell your pitch. But I'm telling you, that is not the thing. The pitch should have something, there should be a story in the pitch that you make. Why so? Why? The reason is very simple. Stories are in our DNA, and for most of our lives, for species, we have only stories to share our learnings. Some of you may be knowing that the Constitution of UK is not written. It has been through the word of mouth, it has been going. Big thing. When we hear stories, we put ourselves in the hero's shoes. And that is why when we see movies, we cry. You will also see that when we hear factual agreements, and it's a very, very natural thing. When you hear statistics, some data, 80%, 20%, 30%, first thing we ask the person is, what is the source? How right is it? We are very critical, we are very skeptical. But when we are absorbed in the story, we totally drop our intellectual guard and we are defenseless. It's a natural thing. Why so? Why does that happen? Well, it happens because it is in our hormones. And I will show you how. Hormones affect the cortex in different ways. And so we have the angel's cocktail, which is the dopamine, the oxytocin, and the endorphin. So when they flush the brain, they affect our thinking process in different manners. So good feelings come out when these chemicals are overflowing in the brain. So it's up to the storyteller to see how that can happen. And now here is a challenge to you. Right now, as a storyteller, I can tell you a story and I can assure you that whichever chemical I want will flush the brain of each and every one of you. Okay, so here we start. I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, so 6 months back, I got a call from Bombay, one of the big companies there. The receptionist had given me a call and said that, sir, we have a few thousand employees who need to learn the art of business communication and storytelling. And we want you, because we heard so many good things about you, we want you to come and take the sessions. I said, wow, here is a great opportunity for me. And definitely I said, I will come. So the next day, I wore my suit, took up the flight, reached Bombay. And on reaching Bombay, I went to their office at Nariman Point. When I entered with my suit and everything all set, the receptionist, the lady out there, and she said, welcome, Colonel Bhargav. I said, the pleasure is mine. She said, I'm obviously not the person you are going to interact with. You see, she showed me, pointed out and said, you see this long corridor? I said, yes, I can see the long corridor. So towards the end, you see a room? I said, yes, I see a room. She said, in that room are our 3 owners who are seated there. One of them is a old Kharat Colonel Saab, 70 years old. And the other 2 of them are also very fixated people. And you have to go and speak to them. I said, no problem, I'll speak. But she said, there's a catch. I said, what? She said, sir, those people do not want you to come and do the training. I said, what the hell? You don't want me to do the training. Why have you called me all over from here to Bombay? She said, sir, it is that we people, the employees, want to have the training by you, but it is those 3 people, those owners, they don't want, they are at 10,000 feet. They are not understanding anything. I said, that is fine, but you have called me and they are not wanting. What am I to go and do? She said, sir, you have to convince them that you will take the session for these employees. I said, oh, my heart sank. I could feel, a lot of sweat on my forehead. I said, where have I got stuck? Anyway, I said, I will go and talk to them and try and convince them. Let's see what happens. So I started walking towards, in that long corridor, I started walking towards that door. Halfway through, she suddenly again says, Colonel Bhargav. I said, what now? I turned around. I looked at her. She said, Colonel Bhargav. Well, you are all waiting to listen what happened after that. Well, actually, nothing happened. This is the dopamine which is now flushing your brains. You're all thinking, you're all anticipating that you're ready to listen to what happened. How did I go and convince? Well, there is no such story. And this was just a story to tell you how I can, or any storyteller can, flush your brains with the right chemical. I can also do an oxytocin with you. I can do an endorphin with you if required. All right. So that is the power of powerful narratives and storytelling that you can do.